You may have recently heard of the phrase, the Great Resignation. Well, it refers to the fact that now, unlike any other time in history, people are quitting their jobs by the millions. In fact, in August of 2021, 4.5 million people walked out on their employers to find new career opportunities. So, as a manager, how do you deal with that? Especially if there is limited upward mobility in your organization. When the two options seem like up or out, talented people often leave, and the cost to replace them is very, very high. When I wrote the recent Up Is Not the Only Way with Lindy Williams and Lynn Cowart, we set out to explore the ever-shifting options that are available to organizations. And these options can give employees new opportunities, even without upward mobility or more money. So, I've always loved the expression leverage and the acronym LEVERR with 2 R's. It stands for the 6 experiences that give people leverage in their careers. And I'll describe them one by one and propose a couple questions for each so that you can have a conversation with your own employees. L is for lateral. There may be little or no change in the status, scope, or compensation of a lateral move. But when you take on a role in another function or department, you gain a whole new perspective on responsibilities and the organization. Lateral experiences can help your employees fine-tune their skills and build new relationships, and also acquire deeper skills and expertise. They will see the organization's operations from a different angle, and all of this adds to their knowledge base. So to start that lateral conversation, you can ask your employees questions like, which of your skills are transferable to a new role or department? And what long-term career opportunities would that new role facilitate for you? The E in LEVERR is for enrichment. Enrichment enables your employees to make their current jobs more interesting and challenging. In other words, they can grow in place right where they are. It can also help your employees by shifting some tasks, taking on others, and often a small change can transform the current job into a learning lab. Your employees can get better at what they do and strengthen their contributions along the way. To get that conversation going, try these questions. What enhancements could make your job more satisfying? Or what do you enjoy most about your current job? Those are great enrichment questions. The V is for vertical. Vertical is a move up, and it's a big step. It usually is highly visible in the organization. So it's really important to be clear about whether it's the right place and the right time. It's critical to examine both the upside and the potential trade-off in an upward move. If your choice is based solely on skills, but fails to account for your values and interests, it might not be the right choice for you or one of your employees. So to start having a conversation about a vertical move, there are at least 2 important questions you can ask. One is, what will this change mean for you personally and professionally and financially? And What challenges will you face, and how will you handle them? The E in LEVERR is for exploratory. An exploratory option is a chance to investigate possibilities. It may involve short-term work. It might involve short-term assignments. It might involve being on a cross-departmental team or shadowing someone who's in a position that your employee might be considering. It could also be as simple as having a conversation about the requirements of a role that seems attractive, but it's a chance to check out whether or not that attractiveness is real and would it really work. And you can start by asking your employee questions like, what other areas of the organization interest you and why? Or if you could choose any person in your company to shadow for a day, who would it be and why? Those are great questions. The first R is for realignment. And it's an important one to think about because people sometimes choose to realign or step back in order to refocus. Maybe the current job was just not a good fit after all, and they're brave enough to admit it. Maybe this move opens up a whole new vista that seems exciting in a part of the organization that's new or growing. With the ever-increasing focus on work-life balance, a realignment move is sometimes based on a personal need, and if ignored, it could result in an exit. Realignment usually means letting go of certain responsibilities, certain time commitments, and sometimes salary. A couple of important questions to ask your employee when having this conversation could be, 1, how could this move enable you to exercise some of your underused skills that you really enjoy? Or how might we positively communicate this move to the rest of our team and organization? And then finally, the second R is for relocation. You need to be open and willing to consider the possibility that leaving the organization is a viable option for those who just can't find the right career fit or regard their career ambitions as unattainable in this organization. Your willingness to have an authentic conversation with a direct report about this choice can leave the door open for a return down the road. This is a harder conversation to have, but some good questions to ask could be, 1, what advice would you give to new hires to improve their chances for success and job satisfaction? And what would attract you to return somewhere down the line? The bottom line of all of this is helping your employees reach their career goals means helping them consider moves not currently on their radar screens. The more options you can create with them, the more you will improve your organization's chances of retaining their treasured talent.